welcome to another episode of my channel. Starting off my season 3 here in downtown Sacramento at the Tower Theater. And I thought I would talk about this place a little bit. This not only is the longest running, they call it the longest running picture palace, but it also is connected to a very iconic business that came from Sacramento. And I'm going to show you around, and we're also going to eat some food here too. So stay tuned. Let's check it out. Yeah, the Tower Theater. This thing has been here forever. It was built in 1938. And like I said in the intro, they call it the longest running picture palace. I guess they used to call these type of theaters picture palaces back in the day, I guess. But apparently this one is the longest continuously running picture palace. So I guess it's never closed. Now this thing is actually connected. We're gonna take a walk through here actually. It's connected right over here. This is a little kind of a garden walkway where people can wait before they see a movie and stuff like that. I've been here many times. We come here and eat. In fact, you might even recognize these lions. I've taken pictures with these lions. But as you can see, there's the tower through the little garden area here. A little bit more over there. And as we get right over here, this is actually the Tower Cafe. Now, not only is this iconic in Sacramento currently as a cafe, but it was actually the original location of the Tower Drugstore, which was Russell Solomon, his father's drugstore. And as you can see right up there, that's the original sign for Tower Records in Sacramento, California. And I believe the drugstore opened like in 1941, and Russell Solomon as a young boy worked here with his dad, and his dad kind of wanted him to kind of be productive and stuff like that, so he had him start selling 45 records out of this location. And it actually did pretty well. I walk down here. This is the whole building here, and as you can see, it's a total cafe and everything like that. But this whole building right here is actually towards the end down here. I've seen pictures of it where this is actually where the record store was, down here towards the end, and they had the drugstore up front where we were just standing, and then the record store was down here at the end. And there's some pictures. There's actually a really good documentary I'll tell you about in a few minutes. But yeah, this is the original location where he started his first Tower Records. It's not the first independent location as far as freestanding. This was part of his dad's drugstore. But he did later open another one, and I'm going to take you to that location also. And that was considered actually the first Tower Records in Sacramento. All right, this is the inside of the cafe here. A lot of people in here right now, actually. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you. This used to be the drugstore. Very cool. I'm sitting at my table right now. This is the outside of the Tower Drugstore, the old Tower Drugstore. This is currently the Tower Cafe. Now, this place is known for their French toast. It's legendary. It's iconic. It's what everybody comes here for. I'm going to show you the menu here. They have good coffee here too. And as I was saying, they have a bunch of other stuff on their menu, but they're really well known for their French toast here. And they have the famous French toast, and then they have the French Connection, which is what I ordered, and that actually comes with eggs and bacon and the French toast, and then seasonal French toast, fruit French toast, My girlfriend actually likes that one a lot. That's the one she ends up ordering most of the time. But yeah, we've been here quite a few times, and just decided to get around to doing a vlog on this today. And all right, stay tuned. I'll show you the food in a few minutes. And the actual Tower Cafe was established in 1990, April 22nd, on Earth Day. And it's been here ever since, and it's a very iconic spot. This is where a lot of people come to eat when they visit Sacramento, especially for breakfast. Yeah, sitting out here on the patio, it's actually really peaceful out here. We do kind of every other time, you know, so we'll sit inside one time and then we'll sit out on the patio, but it's such a nice day in Sacramento today that I decided just to go ahead and sit outside today. Oh yeah, look at that. That's what I call some French toast right there. They got really good bacon here too. Incredible. Good coffee here too. Oh yes, that was so good. And yes, I cleaned my plate. All right, that was delicious. Yeah, I was going to tell you about the documentary. There's a documentary, and it's directed and written by Colin Hanks. That's Tom Hanks' son, and it's the whole story of Tower Records, and it's a really good documentary, man. It's really good. I highly recommend you guys checking it out. It's called All Things Must Pass, and it's a really insightful documentary on Tower Records and how cool the place was. You know, it's really neat story. How his management style, and he let a lot of his employees just do a lot of the decision making, and he actually called it his Tom Sawyer management style, which is kind of funny. He was just a pretty laid back guy, even though he was the boss. You know, he kind of gave a lot of the you know, some of the decision making to the employees, and later the employees became like the executives for his company, but it, you know, at the time he gave them a real sense of purpose and a sense of ownership and a real sense of importance. You know, he let them do a lot of the decision making, you know, in the individual stores, and then later even some of the early people that worked for him became his executives and were making the very important decisions about expanding the business and stuff like that. But it was a really interesting documentary. I highly recommend it. All right, just ate at the Tower Cafe, original location of Tower Records, and there's the sign right behind me there. This is the entrance, and yeah, the food is so awesome here. It's so good. Famous French toast, excellent bacon, eggs are delicious, very good breakfast. Highly recommend it. Russell Solomon's second location, Second Tower Records, used to be, and they've torn them down since, but this is the Broadway location. Yeah, this place is really awesome. You know, it's not only the original location of Tower Records, and But this theater is really cool. I've actually been here a couple times. They have kind of like art films, specialty films. As you can see in the back, they're doing Breakfast at Tiffany's, Pretty in Pink, and Labyrinth. And during October, they did a whole Hitchcock thing with a lot of the Hitchcock movies and stuff like that. Like I said, I've been here a few times. I just haven't vlogged it yet, so I just thought I would do a vlog on this today. And yeah, it's a really cool, iconic building for Sacramento. In fact, I have some pictures on my intro of this just from being here, eating. But now I got all these new video here for the vlog. Show you also that they do have a really big parking lot in the back here. In case you were wanting to come here, it gets very, very busy on the weekends, but they get people in and out of here pretty fast. And they do have a big parking lot. This parking lot fills up pretty good on the weekends. So, you have to kind of come through and there's usually always parking over towards the end over there. But a lot of these lots are fill up pretty fast. But as you can see, this is right behind the Tower Theater, and then you just go around the corner to the Tower Cafe. But yeah, I highly recommend it for a weekend breakfast. You might be a little intimidated by the line, but it does go pretty fast because they have a lot of tables on the patio area and inside. But yeah, excellent food. Check it out. I'm back in my car, just got done eating. And ooh, I gotta take this exit here. Almost missed my exit. Yeah, did a little vlog at the Tower Theater, Tower Cafe, original Tower Drugs, and original location of the Tower Records. And what I'm going to do right now is go over to the original freestanding location on Watt Avenue of the first Tower Records. Now this one that we're going to was the one that they opened very first, and it was in 1961 when they opened it up. And I think 5 years later they did the Broadway one, which was right next to the Tower Cafe. And then a few years later, I think it was 1968, pretty sure it was 68, that they opened the San Francisco one. And then just a couple years after that, they opened the iconic Sunset Tower Records, which is probably their most famous location, just because it's in Hollywood, and that's where all the record companies are, and that's where all the musicians are, and a lot of the music came from that area that they sold at Tower Records and stuff like that. So but yeah, incredible story. Check out that documentary. It's called All Things Must Pass. It's directed by Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son. And yeah, just an incredible story. I think they ended up having like 200 locations after when it was all said and done, and they had some that were very successful in Japan, and they're currently still open to this day. The ones in Japan, they still turn a profit, I guess. They're still very popular in Japan, and it's the only place because they've shut down all the other ones. And since 2020 they reopened their online, you can buy music through them online, and they may even have some kind of streaming thing. I'm not quite sure, but you can buy music at towerrecords.com. But they just kind of recently opened that one in 2020. So but anyway, such a great story. Russell Solomon, what a great guy, entrepreneur, visionary. It seemed like he was just really cool to his employees and stuff like that. I don't know a whole lot about his personal life, but everything I've heard about him and stuff like that is he was just kind of the leader, but he kind of let people just do kind of what they wanted. There was never a dress code at the Tower Records. He didn't care what you looked like when you worked there. In fact, there was a lot of partying and going on and drinking, and he was a part of a lot of that. Him and some of the other employees and stuff. And it just sounds like they had a really good time, And yeah, it's a cool story that it became a $1 billion international business. They had like I said, 200 locations, and they had them everywhere. Over 200 internationally. Pretty awesome. But anyway, we're heading to that location here. We're getting close, and I will tune back in just a few minutes. See ya. All right, here we are. The original site of Tower Records in Sacramento, California. Now, a lot of people know of Tower Records, but probably a lot of people don't realize that it's a Sacramento company. It originated here. Like I said, I was over at the Tower Cafe, which used to be the Tower Drugstore, owned by Russell Solomon's father. And that's where he started selling 45 records there. Once he realized that they could do pretty well doing that, then he opened this location. So it's right where this Goodwill store is right here. It's actually, the address was 2514. So the Dollar Tree is 2540. And then looks like the whole Goodwill is considered 2502. But I kind of remember the entrance being like right where the entrance to the Goodwill is right there. In fact, those are probably the original doors. Maybe not, you know, but it kind of looks that way to me. I remember there was a lot of windows in the front and stuff. I've been there several times for like band signings. You know, they had I've been there when Quiet Riot was there. We got them autographs, and they'd sign your CDs or, you know, your cassette tapes and stuff like that. I was there when Queensryche was there, but probably hundreds of bands have been in there for the signings. That's where the bands would go when they were in town, playing in town. That's where they would do their signings, and that was a big thing, in-store signings during the 80s. When I was, you know, going to concerts, me and my brother and all my friends and stuff like that, we'd go to all these concerts, but we'd come here earlier in the day before they would play and meet them and get their autographs and all that kind of stuff. And this was the original site of the Tower Records. So yeah, originated in Sacramento, California, and that's the location right there. So yeah, pretty neat. Right in the background is the original site of the Tower Records on Watt Avenue. It's right on the corner of Watt and El Camino, by the way, too. So if you're ever wanting to come down here, you can swing by and check it out. I'm sure a lot of people, you know, especially some of my subscribers, probably have been down here. Saw a lot of the same bands I saw, you know, doing the in-store signings and stuff like that. But anyway, I think we're gonna call it good for this vlog today. I hope you enjoyed this vlog on the Tower Records. You know, I hope you enjoyed seeing the Tower Theater and the Tower Cafe, which was originally the Tower Drugstore. And you know, I showed you the side over there where they had actually the first Tower Records inside the Tower Drugstore. And then now this behind me is the original freestanding Tower Records on Watt and El Camino, Watt Avenue and El Camino in Sacramento, California. Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a cool Sacramento story, and I just wanted to do a vlog on this. Hope you guys all enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.